What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Bad Patch Marty League Twitch channel. My name is Joker's Ransom, and that is Daxatron, and we're here with an OWCS Swiss stage matchup. This is a round 9 matchup in the Swiss stage, and it is between round 10. Sorry, I got a little ahead of myself, or I'm living in the future, living in the past. But this is here and now, and we got Students of the Game versus Citrus Nation.
Yeah, we have a great one on our hands here tonight. Everyone knows Students of the Game finishing that 5th, 6th placement in stage 1. Citrus Nation, though, they finished 3rd in their pool, so they're not able to make it to that tournament to be placed here. So one team looking to try to bounce back into the mainstay here, while Students of the Game trying to make sure they make it back to get some more points.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of teams are looking for those placement points. And well, we got to start here on Nepal, but yeah, placement points are very important. Actually, the most important thing is winning the first seed in this stage 2, because you get that automatic berth into DreamHack Dallas.
Yeah, absolutely. But for those teams that don't finish first here, I mean, stage 2, double the points. You can go from not having any points in that first stage, making it all up here on stage 2, and somehow still making it into DreamHack. So a lot on the line here. And this, I mean, Joker, this is a really great series we have here tonight. I mean, we talked about Students of the Game, Citrus Nation, both very well-known players across the board here, and really not truly surprised here what we're seeing out the gate. I mean, Orisa is very, very strong at the moment, and you basically see almost a mirror match besides Lethal and PGE. Yeah,
PGE. Let's see how well the cut hair does for PGE today. But we'll see. I mean, they're already showing off why their aim is so good, why they are a top player in OWCS right now. But it's gonna be Scissors taking Zeb down first and foremost, and Scissors finding another pick. That's just what you want your Tracer to do, and they're doing it well right now. Students of the Game are gonna be able to capture of the first point.
Yeah, that's the thing right now. The Tracer really strong no matter who's playing them right now, but if you're a good Tracer, you can easily turn the tide of the game in your team's favor. And them getting rid of Zeb early gave them such a huge bonus right there. And now you're seeing Citrus Nation come back into this one here, but they're kind of split up here a little bit.
Yeah, and a lot of people are low right now, and PGE takes Jacob's head off. Rack gonna go in there as well, taking Tap out of the fight. That is just going to be that yet again. Students of the Game holding strong. Lethal, however, though, gonna be able to take Scissors down, and Infected is, however, gonna take down Zeb. So it's still going to be Students of the Game holding strong.
Yeah, but the moment you lost your Lucio and you lost your Tracer there for Citrus Nation, that fight was pretty much already over. It was just seeing how much longer it's actually going to last. Zeb taking that long to kind of fall there did hurt them a little bit, but now you're starting to see ultimates come online here. I mean, if Citrus Nation wants to play fast here, they can pop off with the Consuming Rush here early, but Lethal just got knocked out of their Deadeye.
Yeah, kind of the Deadeye, but now the Kitsune Rush comes in, but you need to stay alive and healthy, and Lethal gonna be able to take down Infected. Now rotating to the point is Citrus Nation off the back. A nice headshot coming in from Lethal, and Tap is there to follow it up. This is a clean fight win coming in. Lethal, oh my goodness. Just the aim is so true from the, I believe, Turkish DPS.
And honestly, you need something like that for Citrus Nation right there. If you lost that fight, investing that Consuming Rush, that would have probably already been this first point going over to Students of the Game. But now Students of the Game, I mean, they realize Citrus Nation not using those ultimates. Look at them now. They're going to have both their support ultimates here. They have Infected, have that Terror Surge here. So I can see them being very aggressive here, and Citrus Nation really has nothing to stop it early.
Pulse Bomb is out, but it's not really going to find much. Now the Kitsune Rush coming in from Cal as well. This should just be enough for Students of the Game to come in, but the Sound Bear coming in late from Jacob is going to be there. They do lose the point, but they've taken PGE out of the fight. Now Citrus Nation can really collapse onto the remaining members, but Scissors is in the backline. They have the Pulse Bomb available. Rotating onto the point now is Zeb and company. They've got the Terror Surge available, and they're going to be looking to use it perhaps with the Rush coming in on to the points from Students of the Game. You need to win this fight, though. You've got the upper hand. Tap's going to take down Scissors, but you've lost Jacob now with the Terror Surge coming in. But PGE is back from spawn. They found Lethal with the overclock. Tap still trying to find work done, but it's just not looking good for Citrus Nation right now here. They couldn't find the remaining members of Students of the Game before the respawns come back. Zeb's still trying their gosh darn hardest, but that's just not going to happen. Overtime bar ticking away. Infected finding Jacob, and that is going to be that round 1. It goes to Students of the Game.
Yeah, that last fight there, a very, very long fight. I mean, students of the game, they had all 5 ultimates ready to go there. They played it perfectly, letting Citrus Nation retake the point, and then coming right back in, using their ultimates. You saw them find a lot of huge picks there early. PGE popped off with that overclock, able to find 1 or 2 with that there. But then, I mean, Citrus Nation and Zeb, they held on to that Terror Surge just a little bit too long. Once you start seeing Infected going away from you, I think you should have been using that Terror Surge there just to pull them back a little bit, maybe force them to pull out their own Terror Surge there instead. But now, heading over here to the second point, I mean, students of the game maybe teasing us here with a little bit of swap. Infected going over to the Sigma, which I do like, especially when you see something like what Lethal is doing there on the Ash. It's going to be really interesting to see how they play around this, and Cal going over to the BAP here. I mean, it seems like students of the game want to try to play this point a little bit differently. Citrus Nation, though, I mean, you have Lethal there to try to be a little bit more of a long-distance threat, because you weren't really finding that last point.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like students of the game kind of want to play it a little bit slower here, even though they still have scissors on this tracer, but you've got to have it just to match Tap, who was doing very good on that tracer as well, almost taking them out there, but the recall coming in clutch for Tap for the moment. Zrak is just waiting on high, looking for these plays, looking for the shots, looking for the boot perhaps as well. Right now, still no one's going in, but a nice dynamite coming in from Lethal. Gonna get Rack out of position, take a little bit more space for Citrus Nation because of it, but Zeb is gonna go down. PGE finds the rail shot across the map. Another one going down. Lethal bites the dust. PGE is popping off for students of the game.
Yeah, I mean, you need something to open up there, and Zeb, which is a little bit too far away from their supports right there to get that support they need to keep alive there. You saw Lethal there. I mean, the Ash swap, in my opinion, actually really did work out for them and really forced students of the game, especially Rack Attack and Scissors, just to stay away from the point because they know how good of a shot Lethal is here. But now, I mean, they have to go into this here, and you see them already kind of split up, try to hold on to that high ground right next to point. You're looking for someone here from Citrus Nation to get something going here. Lethal and Neutral are close to their ultimates here. I would not be surprised to see a combo when those things come up.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. Neutral already up to the Kitsune Rush, but so, I mean, they're going to have to be walking into the Amp Matrix from Cal, Infected as well, having the Graviton Surge as well, and Tap just going down to a tap from Cal to the head. Zabi is going to be able to trade it back, but they still need to be able to find more. Sound Mary has come in from Rack Attack to really keep things going the way of students of the game, as they are just going to be able to hold out, especially if they can catch out Zeb here, who is low, but is going to be able to get the healing. Oh,
and Citrus Nation, though, going to be able to cap the point off all that there. I mean, students of the game had to back up for a quick moment there. Citrus Nation, though, they have some ultimates right now. If they use them sparingly here, they should be able to hold on to the point for a little bit, but that Terror Surge was something.
Yeah, they were trying to get Rack, I believe, in that, but not going to be able to do so. Able to get away still. PG has popped their overclock. Tap has found Rack Attack as well, and Infected is all alone. Going to go down to the Javelin Spin, but students of the game are able to capture the point back up before it gets out of hand for the favor of Citrus Nation, 65 and counting.
Yeah, and Citrus Nation, I mean, they're going to try to quickly retake this point right here, but students of the game going to do a good contest here, especially with this Amp Matrix coming out.
Yeah, PG is going to be able to find a shot through the Ant Matrix, taking Lethal out. And now the students of the game are going to be able to keep control of the point for the moment. Zeb is rotating the point, but Neutral and PGE are looking for a duel. Kunai cannot find the shots true enough, however, so they're just going to rotate around, rotate back, and students of the game are on this fight point and match or round point as well. Because now they're going to have to rotate in. Kitsune Rush going to come in from Neutral to try to win this fight, but Zeb is so low right now. You just have to keep healing him to stay alive. Overtime bar is procced up, and well, right now Citrus Nation are going to be able to take it back into their favor for the time being, but they still have to hold on for a lot longer of a time frame. They cannot afford to lose anyone. Boop not going to be able to find on it. In fact, still waiting it out. Still the fight goes through. The pulse bomb is out. It's Scissors. What? Scissors just get his scissors. But now still, it might not even matter though. The rest of students of the game have found 2 picks, but Tap and Zeb are going to be able to find 2 as well. And now Citrus Nation are going to be able to perhaps hold on. Infected is on the point, and Jacob is going to take down Cal. So still, Citrus Nation are in control of this point.
Yeah, and right now both these teams coming up to ultimates here, and that was the thing that got Citrus Nation to the point was that Kitsune Rush from neutral, but now students of the game coming back with ultimates of their own. They're about to have both their support ultimates, and we've seen Cal pop that Ant Matrix twice already and find a value almost immediately here. Citrus Nation, I mean, you have to figure out some way to make sure you're not in that line of sight right there, but you do have two good ultimates on your side, that Beat and that Terror Surge there from Zeb. You want to try to make sure that Zeb is playing high up like they are right now to counter out that Ant Matrix.
Yeah, they are, and Zeb is going to come through with the Pulse Bomb help from Tap, taking Cal out. Sound Barrier has been invested, but things are not looking as good as it once was for students of the game right now.
I understand the investment of the Beat there from Citrus Nation, but I feel like that was the worst time to use it. Look at students of the game. They're going to come back in with a support, a DPS, and a tank ultimate. All really good combo potential right there for all three of them here. So that fight there needed to be something that wins you this point. You just have to make sure students of the game does not get a touch.
They get the touch there thanks to Scissors, so they have to recall out. They've got the ults to hold on to this, but they need to find the shots. The Gravitic Flux comes through, but it doesn't seem to have caught anyone out. Still, the overtime bar is ticking away. You need to be able to stay on the point, and Scissors is going to be able to do that. And you need to rotate. You need to be able to capture this this point and get it into your favor, but maybe that's just not going to happen, and Scissors is going to be caught out. That nice shot from Lethal might have sealed the deal for Citrus Nation to force around number 3, and it has.
Yeah, and what an ultimate that I thought would come back to bite them actually is the reason they probably end up winning that fight there. And this point was that Beat there from Jacob. It just allowed them that time to be a little bit more aggressive, win a fight there against students of the game, and it forced students of the game there to play for those last touches, which didn't seem to be their kind of MO. I mean, you saw them gain touches to keep the overtime alive, but they were desperately looking for just an opening pick, but it was actually Lethal who found that opening pick instead. And you saw students of the game right after that just desperately trying to find something, not able to find anything there. A good bounce back round from Citrus Nation there after that first point where they really struggled. Now though, students of the game basically going back to what they were running on that first point, except Cal still on the Baptiste, who in my opinion did great last point, so I'm not surprised they're sticking with it here. Tap on the Symmetra for a moment, gonna be swapping over to the Tracer probably, but now Cal going back to the Kiriko. Not necessarily a surprise here, but Citrus Nation wants to play high ground while students of the game wants to go straight to point.
Yeah, I liked the Baptiste that last round, but I think they were missing that engagement piece from the Kitsune Rush in those long fights that that Citrus Nation were able to use and get in and speed onto the point. Now they have that back in their back pockets. Citrus almost got caught out there though. Able to recall out, get their health back, but still Citrus Nation have the point control at the moment, but obviously no one has it quite just yet. They're still just waiting it out as Scissors and Tap are looking for a 1v1. Who is going to come out on top? It looks like Tap is for the moment, but the healing is going to be there from the health pack, and PGE in the meanwhile has taken Lethal out of the fight, and a lot of people are low on Citrus Nation as Scissors is going to come out on top of the Tracer duel.
Yeah, and students of the game able to cap the point there. PGE has been someone consistently already so far in this series, has been able to find early kills and late kills right there, finding neutral to end that all off there. Just a good kind of opening there for students of the game. I mean, Citrus Nation, they want to play that high ground, didn't end up working out for them. Students of the game was basically saying, hey, come to point, fight us here, and Citrus Nation didn't really want any of that here, but you are seeing ultimates come up here pretty quickly. Both Rack and Cal will have their ultimates this fight. Same thing, I mean, neutral will have their Kitsune Rush, but Jacob's so far behind on that beat. I mean, Citrus Nation, they need to find an opening pick here if they really want to have a shot this fight, because those ultimates are coming online fast.
Thankfully, they do have this Kitsune Rush that'll allow them to build up to more ultimates when they use it, but neutral is so low right now, and PGE's found Jacob yet again, so they're not going to be able to build off this Kitsune Rush now that's invested by neutral. Cal going to be using theirs as well to hold on to this point, and students of the game are just going, just washing this point all in blue here as they're holding strong.
Yeah, and look at students of the game now. They're going to have 4 ultimates in this next engagement. Citrus Nation will have about the same. Jacob needs to build up to that beat pretty quickly here. Both Terror Surges, I feel like are going to be really important, but I mean, Rack Attack has that beat to basically cancel out that Terror Surge there from Zeb, so it's going to be really difficult for them to do anything here. But again, for Citrus Nation, you're just looking for some opening, because so far it's been PGE finding the first pick.
Well, there's the opening coming in, and Rack Attack is gone, and now this is the perfect opportunity to use your Terror Surge if you want to, but you might not even need it. Infected has gone down as well, and Citrus Nation are just going to be able to walk onto this point. The nice Javelin throw, going to be able to take Scissors out, but recalled back, getting their health, but still, it's just not going to be enough, it would seem. Scissors is going to finally go down, and yeah, Citrus Nation are going to be able to take the point, but it's up to 95%, maybe even 99 for, it's going to be 95 for students of the game.
Yeah, but again, you saw it right there. They didn't use any ultimates. Like you said, they had the perfect opportunity, Citrus Nation, to use that Terror Surge. They held onto it. But same thing with students of the game. Once they saw Citrus Nation using those ultimates, they didn't invest any of theirs. They understood that Citrus Nation was going to just keep on investing ultimates if that fight went any longer, probably. But now they're in a really good spot. Cal going to be able to build up to a Kitsune Rush here pretty quickly. But now you have the two counters here for the Terror Surge from both sides, those beats. So you're looking for someone, again, to just get an opening pick. And it's been the Soldierns so far that I'm staring at here to find those.
Yeah, we'll see if anyone can find the first pick for there it is, PG coming in yet again with the first pick. The overclock coming in clutch. Terra Surges are going to be dropped down, but PGE is the only one to find a pick. But however, now Citrus Nation are going to be able to come back, tapping neutral, finding shots with their to the head, but it might just not be enough. Cal is still there, but oh wow, a disruptor shot going to be able to take them down. Still, students of the game have control. They are going to be able to flip the point back, but Citrus Nation have the point presence. They're able to come back into this this fight, and Lethal is going to be able to take down Scissors. This is just looking better and better for Citrus Nation right now. They need to be able to clutch it up. They need to be able to find another pick, or they're going to go down into map number 2, down 0-1 in the series. But finding Infected out is going to be huge for Citrus Nation.
And here's the thing with this fight here. It's still going on. Students of the game backing out smartly here. Neither team had ultimates, but Students of the game is so far behind in their ultimate economy right now. Citrus Nation is looking like a gold mine here. They're going to have 3 ultimates ready to go with this next fight. And honestly, if it's a long fight, it could be the final fight of this round and of this map. You're looking at someone like Scissors to build up to a pulse bomb pretty quickly and try to just get something to go their way. But, I mean, Citrus Nation, they have 3 ultimates. They're in the driver's seat right now, but you cannot get caught out early, and you cannot have your Lucio or Kiriko fall here first.
Oh, Scissors goes down first and foremost. This is not what you wanted to see. If you are a fan of Students of the game, it's up to 91%. They're just backing out here. They have to.
They have to, but they have to make a quick re-engage here, and you have that Orisa standing at the front line.
Yeah, they're going to be able to go in with the Lucio speed boost, but Zeb is going to be able to take down Infected. PGE is down. This is looking all but over, and it is Citrus Nation take the first map in the series.
And after praising Students of the game for knowing when to hold on to ultimates and when to use them there, they over-invested in that last fight there, or in one of those last fights there with Citrus Nation before Citrus Nation recapped the point and held onto it from there on out. They had all 4 and almost all 5 ultimates used in one fight there. Citrus Nation, I mean, they had no ultimates in that fight, but they were much closer to it after the fact. And that was the reason and the thing that won Citrus Nation this map here. A very, very close back and forth map there from both teams. I mean, this is what you kind of expect from these two teams. 2 very good teams, 2 very good rosters here. Yeah. Back and forth could have gone either way, really.
My why are the googly eyes still on? It's been a week. Why are the googly eyes still on?
They go away tomorrow, I think.
Oh, they go away tomorrow? Okay.
Maybe Tuesday.
But yeah, I mean, it was great stuff all around. I mean, a little bit of, like you said, overalting there in the end, and then just those timely picks coming in from Citrus Nation were able to hold out onto it. That huge pick on the Scissors really solidified everything because they had to rotate out. You can't really push in without that threat in the back line that the Tracer just helps so much with. Now they've got to go into map number 2, which is going to be hybrid. I forget if they've already chosen the map, or okay, they have.
I don't remember what it is, but yeah,
I don't remember.
You bring up a good point there. Scissors was the first one falling there in that last fight. I talked about them going into that last fight. They were the closest one to an ultimate on the side of Students of the game. That pulse bomb, I mean, it's a very big ultimate. Yeah, you're not necessarily looking for it to find kills most of the time. A lot of times you're looking for it to just get rid of utility from the other team. But because they fell first, like you said, there's no backline pressure. There's no pester that's there to annoy them. They could be a little bit more aggressive. Those supports could be a little bit more aggressive, knowing that Tracer was gone, because because, I mean, honestly, on those first 2 points, Scissors was just kind of all over the place. And I mean, we talked about already, Tracer right now is almost a must-have unless you're just trying to run something completely different, which we have seen some teams do to some success, but still, Tracer is one of the strongest DPS in the game at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. And I wouldn't expect us to really deviate from what we've seen so far throughout this series. Because, I mean, it's like you said, it's kind of a must pick. It is kind of just what is kind of defined as the meta right now. So I'm just interested to see where they decided to take us for map number 2. Because I don't remember what it was. Maybe our production staff know what it is, and then they can make us look better. Oh, there it is. I know, it's Midtown. Midtown. I actually really like this map. This is a really good map. I feel like it is probably the second most liked hybrid map in the game, just because it is so much like Kings Row, and that's usually the most liked hybrid map in the game right now. So I mean, if Kings Row is vetoed, obviously you're gonna probably go into Midtown.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good map choice. Like you said, a lot of people starting to like it on that level of Kings Row here, but Kings Row, not a part of the map pool here. But, I mean, this is a big map here for students of the game. They don't want to go down 0-2 in the series, and which would be the end of the series. Yeah. I mean, it's only a best of 3 here. They want to try to at least get a map win here so that if they do end up dropping the series, at least they have that one map win that could help them down a little bit further down the line here. But, I mean, we saw a lot of different compositions come out here, which was actually a little bit of a surprise to me. Yeah, the main core was kind of the same, but Students of the Game was really the only one that swapped up their tank. Going over to that Sigma on that second point, it worked for them, but towards the end, I feel like the biggest kind of flaw they had in that Sigma play was the fact that they completely missed on that last flux. I mean, you get that flux there, you force out a couple other utility things there from Citrus Nation, you force out a couple ultimates to make sure everyone stays alive. Because you missed, it allowed Citrus Nation to be a little bit more aggressive going back to that point there. But heading into Midtown, I think we could see the Sigma here again. I just don't necessarily think that's going to be the go-to. I think we've kind of seen it. The Orisa right now is that like mainstay tank that everyone is kind of playing. The Sigma, though, is a good off selection kind of pick, still very strong at the moment, but the Orisa just has a little bit more survivability.
Yeah, I feel like that when Malga just kind of got nerfed back to irrelevancy, Orisa just kind of took the place of it. That's just really what Orisa is good at, just shooting and being a pest, really just being able to go in and do a lot of damage, be able to stop a lot of damage as well with their gold form. And it just allows to give you, it just gives you that presence that you need from the tank player right now, to be able to stay alive as long as you possibly can while your DPS are going for those angles, looking for those shots and taking down the support line. And then yeah, and I think both teams are really doing well at that. I mean, it's just in the late stages of things when you need to be able to close it out. That's what we need to see from Students of the Game to do that. They don't have that finishing power that we're seeing from Citrus Nation right now.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that kind of finishing power there on that first point of Nepal there on Village, where they were able to kind of clean up fights pretty easily there. And it was, again, I mean, the DPS play was just really good there from Citrus Nation on that first point. And not to knock them for the rest of the map, it was good the rest of the map. Just Citrus Nation, they started out kind of slow, kind of sluggish. They needed a point there to really warm up, and you saw what happened after that. But you're looking for those DPS, especially that Tracer, to really be the cleanup crew, essentially. Go in, clean up that person that's at 25% health or less, and make sure you give your team a little bit of an advantage here. But now, as we head into our second and potential final map of this series here, I mean, we're going to see what the teams are playing here. I really do expect the Orisas to come back out here. Maybe not on the first point. The second point, I could see it a little bit, but Students of the Game actually showing us the Sigma here again. Citrus Nation really not doing anything different other than having lethal on the hovering the Cassidy at the moment. They're still standing in spawn. I would not be surprised though if they do stick with it. But now looking back over at Students of the Game, they're still kind of messing with us here. Infected hovering over the Orisa. I think that's the right call for them. Rack is going to probably swap back over to the Lucio.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Oh,
Ilari.
Cal, don't, what? No, please don't.
I mean, it would be a very interesting pick. I think it would catch Citrus Nation off guard, but you have Lethal right there, who is looking like they're going to come out on the cast, and I mean, that is just a very strong player, a very strong counter, in my opinion, to that Ilari here. And yeah, they're actually going to come out with here for a little bit, and actually we're seeing Cassies from both sides.
No. I don't know. I don't like. I don't know. We'll see how it works for him. But hopefully, if it does not work, they know to switch off. Hey. You know what? Well, never mind. Just goes right back down. They find the shot on the neutral, which is huge, but losing, going down to Jacob quickly afterwards. But, ooh, a nice javelin throw. Yeah, that was crazy shot. Lethal, though, is going to find rack attack as well, so there's no healing on the board for students of the game, but they might just not need it as they're rotating out to the point here. But Citrus Nation are able to get back here as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and getting rid of that Kiriko there early there for Citrus Nation really did hurt them. It's causing them to really stagger there, but now, I mean, they're coming back in just trying to make sure that they don't give anything up here to students of the game.
Oh, wow. Zeb is going to be able to take down PG, but Zeb is going to go down quickly afterwards. So, hey, it looks like students of the game are going to be able to hold on to this point now as, yeah, they are. Rack Attack finds 2 there late.
Yeah, and I mean, we kind of wondered why Cal was going to come out on this Ilari, but so far they've been making it work really, really well. Infected finds Lethal there, that's just going to stagger them back to that far back spawn. And I mean, this is going to give students of the game a really good opportunity to try to get set up on that high ground. Yeah, you already see Zeb up there, but without that Cassidy of PGE, I mean, if Citrus Nation wanted to play a little bit fast here, they could get up there and just try to take that high ground. But you're seeing everyone now for them start to come back, and they're going to be able to still hold on that high ground here. But I mean, a Deadeye is ready here for Lethal. It would be really interesting to see if they want to pop this off early, maybe to force out something here from students of the game.
Yeah, the rotation is going to come in from Scissors, though, and they're going to have... Oh, no, they're not going to throw that pulse bomb in, which I thought they might have, because there was a lot of people in that corridor there, Dexatron, but it doesn't seem to be needed, as 2 picks did come through, and right after that, the students of the game are going to be able to take that fight and take the high ground as well.
Yeah, and just getting rid of that Tracer, look what it did there to Citrus Nation. I mean, they really couldn't do anything. They were really hoping that Tap was going to be able to get in there and do something with it. Now, Kitsune's coming out on the high ground here, man. Yeah,
Kitsune Rush coming in, and Rack Attack is down. The shot's coming in. Lethal just collecting heads, but it's not going to be showing up in the kill feed. PGE finds Tap as well. Finally, going to be shown up in the kill feed is Lethal. As now they're just staggering out Cal for a little bit.
Yeah, and finally, Citrus Nation, they needed to have a fight win there, just kind of slow things down, because students of the game were just casually pushing it through there. They had to invest 2 ultimates into that fight to do it, but hey, they will take those 2 ultimates. But now, students of the game, a Captive Sun is online here for Cal, and I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see what Citrus Nation does. Do they try to javelin spin it out of the air, or how do they play into this here?
Yeah, we'll see how they do. I'm interested. This Captive Sun could be huge, but it also could just get blow up right in their face if that Deadeye is going to be invested. Deadeye comes through. Terra Surge there as well, and PGE is down. Lethal is going to get traded out immediately afterwards, though, so there's still a chance, and Scissors has found another pick of the Captive Sun being invested. Scissors going wild, finding 3, and Cal finding Jacob there, as this might just be enough to get them into the final portion of this map. As Tap goes down late, they might be able to get a last-second touch here. They do. Jacob getting there quite quickly as Terra Surge coming in. Deadeye coming in from PGE as well. Soundbarrier comes in. Still nothing really doing, but Jacob goes down there, able to hold on to that Deadeye long enough, and that might just be it with the Kitsune Rush just being invested. Hey, that's a nice javelin spin mitigation of the pulse bomb, but it's just not going to matter in the end there, is it, Dexatron?
It won't. And Jacob got Ajax out of their beat right there with that Deadeye there from PGE, who's now going over to the Widowmaker here, which is a swap that I have started to see a lot more often here, especially if you are very, very confident Widowmaker and have a very good aim, which, I mean, this last part of the map, I've seen Widowmakers just absolutely take over it here, but both those teams invested almost all their ultimates in that last engagement. And Rack Attack, though, having that Ant Matrix is going to be such a huge thing here for students of the game. They're going to be able to that down, and Citrus Nation is just gonna have to back up and respect it, especially when you lose someone like Jacob early.
Yeah, but Lethal is gonna go take Rack Attack out, but the trades just keep coming through, and Scissors just keeps finding pick after pick for students of the game right now, as PGE is gonna get caught out, but Zeb is all alone. But hey, they're gonna find Cal out, and no, but still, Zeb is still alive somehow. Finally gonna go down. Scissors gonna be able to find them, and Infected takes down Jacob.
And like I said, coming into this map here, the Tracers, you really want them to be the cleanup crew, and that's what essentially Scissors was. That entire last fight there, they were just the cleanup crew, getting all those people who are so low on health down. And now, because Rack fell in that fight, look at what students of the game are going to have here. They're going to have that amp, they're going to have this pulse bomb, they're going to have the Terror Surge, and another Captive Sun here. And Citrus Nation, they're only going to have a Terror Surge here from Zeb, so they need to have something that keeps them alive here for a little bit.
Yeah, but now, Zeb, oh my goodness, Zeb is so low, they can't really even peek out. They're going to use the Terror Surge, but they're going to get caught out, and Scissors is going to be able to take down Lethal. Terror Surge comes in from Infected, and that's going to clean house. 2 minutes and 6 seconds on the board for Students of the Game's attack.
Yeah, and students of the game, I talked about there. They were coming up with so many ultimates, and Citrus Nation, because of some swaps, really were not anywhere close to them there. And you saw it. They started off with that damage from Rack Attack. Citrus Nation immediately respected it there, played behind corners to make sure they were not getting immediately melted from it. But you saw what that did to them there. It allowed Scissors just to kind of melt down Zeb there, and Zeb had to come out, use that Terror Surge just to try to do something, and that allowed Cal to pop that Captive Sun. Yeah, they didn't get credit for any kills or any assists, but it did really force Citrus Nation to play away from the card, and the players that were playing near it got punished almost immediately there. Over 2 minutes on a time bank there for students of the game, a very, very healthy time bank here, and other than 1 or 2 little blemishes there where Citrus Nation was able to slow them down there, students of the game looked like they were back in control of this map, and honestly of this series. Citrus Nation now, they need to show us something here. They need to kind of match what students of the game did there. Tap on the Genji. I'm not gonna say that it's gonna happen, but it would not surprise me. Genji is, in my opinion, weirdly starting to get some more play, and especially with Cal now on the Silari, they want to be able to try to help Zeb out a little bit, gives them another, a second opportunity essentially to shut down Cal's Captive Sun if it comes to that. And yeah, they're actually gonna stick on the Genji here, which, I mean, I talked about it. I didn't expect it, and because they're not going with a Tracer at all here. Yeah,
we'll see how it works for them, but again, we were a little bit skeptical of Cal going over to the Ilari, and well, they proved us wrong, so hopefully Tap can prove us wrong here, finish it out for Citrus Nation. And well, I mean, look at that, they've already found Cal in the fight. I mean, it really maybe wasn't Tap's doing, but still, Citrus Nation are going to be able to get in the driver's seat early on now. Yeah, but still, a nice shot though comes in from PGE, taking Lethal out. But so many people are low on Students of the Game, but the kill feed is coming up red, so Students of the Game are able to hold on.
And I think Citrus Nation made a little bit of a mistake there. I mean, they got rid of Cal early. They had that point pressure where they could have just tried to drag a fight to point, but instead they just went into the firehouse there and essentially gave Cal that time to come back. You saw everyone for Students of the Game just back towards their spawn, allowed Cal to come back, help them out a little bit in that fight. And I mean, it didn't necessarily even help them ultimate-wise. I mean, Students of the Game has 2 ultimates right now, and that Matrix from Rack Attack can essentially end a team fight before it even started, or force Citrus Nation to wait about 10 seconds before they do anything.
But now, let's see here, as Lethal's going to be able to take down Rack Attack, who had their ultimate up and ready, and Tap going to finally get into the kill feed, and that is just going to be that. It should be, at least, as the kill feed going blue for Citrus Nation. Everything going their way in this fight, and that is that.
Yeah, and honestly, we talked about a little bit last map. the soldiers being able to just find value almost instantly all the time seems to really help out both these teams. Lethal has been great so far this series, but now Citrus Nation able to even up that ult economy there and almost actually put themselves into the lead here. Both these teams gonna have a lot of ultimates pretty early, but I would not be surprised once Citrus Nation rounds that corner if you see students of the game immediately pop that amp matrix right there on that high ground to force Citrus Nation to fall back a little bit. But then you could see Cal immediately come back and try to combo it with their own Captive Sun here. Citrus Nation, they need to have some opening early, and again, I'm staring at Lethal because that's been the character so far throughout the night who we've been looking at and finding those first picks.
I know, Lethal's so good. I've met them at a LAN before. They're just incredible at what they do. We'll see if they can continue to do so. But Tap is going to be the one to find the pick onto Cal early on. Rax Amp Matrix not really going to get any value, it would seem here, Dex.
Yeah, it's not gonna get any value there, which is the bad part about that, because I mean, students of the game had the position, but I think it all kind of started when Infected decided to fall down to the low ground there, but they're using the Terror Surge right now.
Yeah, Terror Surge gonna come in, and Tap has been found out. This is huge. And now, so they can come back in, and Zeb gets taken out, and this is the perfect chance for students of the game to really stake their claim on point number 2 here with defense.
And they're going to be able to here, which is the weirdest thing, because to be fair, I mean, they invested some ultimates that didn't necessarily work out for them, but then Citrus Nation, they invested 3 ultimates there, found nothing off of them, and put students of the game back into the, I think, in the lead of the ultimate economy right now. I mean, the Captain Sun has been huge from Cal, but Tap, this Blade really has nothing that can counter out other than an immortality field there from Rack Attack, so it's going to be really interesting to see how these teams play into these ultimates here. But I'm kind of watching out for probably someone like Jacob to invest that beat early that lets Citrus Nation go aggressive.
Yeah, we'll see if they do invest that early on or run the Dragon Blade is popped by Tap here. I expect to probably wait till the Kitsune rush, but we shall see. Right now, both of these two teams are just kind of waiting it out, waiting to see who can find the first pick, as Zeb is very low at the moment. Now taking the low ground, looking to push the cart, looking to push the objective, to force them away from the high ground, to force them down low. Right now, though, Infected is really doing a great job at just holding front line with the Kitsune Rush now coming in from neutral, but it's just not going to help them at all, unfortunately, as students of the game are just going to go wild through everything and take the fight.
And they're going to stagger out Zeb here, which is the right call from them. And I mean, students of the game, 1 ultimate used there, maybe 2 with PGE, but you had both the support ultimates for Citrus Nation invested into that fight. And at this point, I feel like this Captain Sun is actually being used as more of a scare tactic here from students of the game. Cal's just holding on to it. Citrus Nation knows that they have it. They've had it for about 3 fights now. But Citrus Nation, they're coming up on ultimates. No support ultimates, which is the biggest thing here, especially as I talked about already. Cal has that Captain Sun. Terror Surges though already. Scissors though, that pulse bomb, I would not be surprised they're looking for someone in that backline, someone maybe like Jacob.
Yeah, Scissors is currently on the low ground looking for Lethal, taking him down. Now they were looking again. There's still a chance to use this pulse bomb, but maybe not using it yet. Because, I mean, why use it when you're finding picks from PGE? Now Citrus Nation is just running for the hills.
And nothing is working for Citrus Nation here. I mean, they started to have a little bit of momentum, but it's just been basically shut out here. Students of the game didn't need to use any ultimates that fight to win it. Citrus Nation, yeah, they didn't use any of theirs because they had 0 opportunity to use them here. But neutral, though, I mean, you're close to a Kitsune rush here. I don't think Jacob will be able to build up to a beat fast enough here. If they do, it could be something that will get them the second point and extends the map for them. But students of the game, I mean, they're going to have all 5 ultimates this fight. They're in the driver's seat right now. They just cannot make a mistake.
It cannot make a mistake at all here. It's down to 25 seconds, and all the ultimates are on the board for students of the game. But I mean, Citrus Nation have 4 as well, though. So it's still definitely a winnable fight, but they need to find an opening pick, and they need to find it fast. Now the overclock coming in from Lethal. Infected is so low. Terror Surge going to be invested, but Infected is still alive. Captain Sun invested. Cal still alive as well, somehow, some way. Deadeye not going to find anything. Nothing has come in from any of the ultimates popped. Jacob might be able to hold everything if they can build up to this ultimate. Dragon Blade comes in, and Jacob and Zeb find 3 all together. Scissors is going to be able to take down Neutral, though, but it might just be it. Infected is going to be able to touch late, perhaps. No, they're not, and Scissors is going to be able to, or at least try to get out, but probably not.
And I feel like this is already the second time this series where we've seen students of the game have almost all their ultimates ready to go in a fight that if they win, it ends the map, not go their way there. Citrus Nation, I mean, they only really use 2 ultimates. They're still holding on to 2 and are in a very, very good spot. Yeah, they won't be able to match time here with students of the game, but you have a beat, you have a Terror Surge, so you can go very fast here if you want to. But now you have to be watching out for PGE on that Widow, but it seems like Lethal already has their number.
Yeah, Lethal making the swap to the Widowmaker as well, and Zeb has found Scissors out. So, I mean, things are looking a little bit better and better for the Citrus Nation squad right now.
And now Citrus Nation is starting to kind of snowball this onto this final point. They have ultimates that are coming up that are already students of the game. They're so far away from really anything here. And Cal making a swap over here to the Zenyatta. These are desperate times, and they're calling for desperate measures if you're student of the game, if you're Citrus Nation. I mean, one more team fight win here, and you have this map completed.
Yeah, but that Discord Orb could just be the whole difference maker here, Dex. Is if you can focus down those shots, and they're looking to do it, Neutral almost goes down. Lethal is going to be taken out. You need to be able to touch the point. The Terror Surges come through, and Rack Attack is down. Now that's a lot of healing gone, and this might just be it. But the huge thing is it's overtime. There's just no chance for an attacking round for Citrus Nation any longer. With a Kitsune Rush coming in, the Scissors is going to find 2, but they're going to go down in the end. However, they like I said, they complete the map, but they do not get a chance to attack in overtime.
Hey, I mean, they completed the map. That's all they needed to do. Yeah, they don't get the chance, but hey, a win here is a tie, essentially. It still puts them onto that. It still puts them on series point going into the 3rd map, and it would also prevent students of the game from being on series point going into the 3rd map here. But 2 minutes, 6 seconds here for students of the game. I mean, last time and their first time around, they didn't need about, I don't think they needed 90 seconds. So they're in a very good spot right now. But if you do play it kind of slow here, I mean, that 2 minutes can immediately become something where you're immediately making swaps and having to rush back to the point as fast as you can. And I feel like the swaps that we saw from Citrus Nation there, the Genji from Tap, actually did prove to be a good swap there. Cal saying on this Illari, I'm not mad about either. I mean, they have done great on the Illari so far. The Captain Sun, like I said, was almost being used as a scare tactic for them that entire last round because they were just holding on to it. Citrus Nation knew they had it. They had it for about 4 fights before they finally used it there. But now, 2 minutes, 6 seconds. Easier said than done, and all you need is a single tick on this point, and you put yourself into that 3rd map there, and everything being even. And I'm just trying to find who's gonna be the difference maker here. I feel like Scissors on this Tracer still has have that potential to be a difference maker this round and give their team the win. But Tap on the Genji, I think they showed us a lot last round. I think if they have a great Genji to start off here, it's gonna be something that keeps this map tie.
Yeah, definitely. That is the best case scenario for Citrus Nation right now. Or are we going to go to next map in a 1-1 tie, or is it still going to be 1-0 Citrus Nation? It still has to be decided, as Scissors is looking for Tap in the back line, but not going to be able to find them quite just yet. Jacob going down is massive. That might just be the start of the fall, and yeah, it is going to be. As Zeb goes down, Tap is going to be able to take down Cal, but you can only do so much as a Genji, and well, they go down in the end. Students of the game take map number 2, tying it up, headed to a map number 3.
I mean, you could argue this map did not need an overtime, but just because of mistakes from students of the game, we got an overtime. Citrus Nation, they look strong to complete their attacking round, but I mean, students of the game, they had an insane attacking round. Over 2 minutes on a time bang is just nuts, no matter what level you're playing at here. And I talked about it here. Scissors, the Tracers, they're just cleanup crew essentially. Look at them right there, basically picking off everyone right there that's under 25%. And that is what you want your Tracer to be doing. Or if they're not doing that, you just want them to annoy that backline, annoy the tank a little bit, try to get that focus off the rest of their team, have them on you there. But a great round there from students of the game. They definitely need that after essentially what I would say they kind of threw away Nepal there in that first map, and now this was a very, very strong second map. Wouldn't you agree, Joker?
Oh, I would indeed. And now we're headed into map number 3, all tied up here. And it is going to be Escort. It's going to be Route 66 here. And what a fitting way, because we've seen a lot of Cassidy.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised to see the Cassidy a little bit, but I mean, both teams really used that Cassidy to great use. I mean, PGE and Lethal did great on them. They eventually made swaps over to Widowmakers and looked great as well. But I mean, we saw students of the game making these kind of off picks is something they did a little bit on Nepal as well. Didn't work out for them there, but definitely worked out for them here. Cal on the Illari. I mean, me and you both questioned it, but we were immediately proven wrong, which is how good they were able to do with it there. Tap on the Genji again, a little bit of an off pick at the moment, but it worked out for them. Kind of just taking over for that Tracer role. Didn't work out for them though on that final overtime round. But I mean, just look at the stats here across the board. I mean, I'm just staring at it right here. 41 eliminations for Scissors. That is just insane, especially when you look at the DPS there for the other team. I mean, they didn't even have 41 kills combined.
Yeah, that's just crazy, because Citrus Nation took map number 1. So that's just crazy to me, thinking that they're able to contest with Scissors that much, even though they're not outputting as much eliminations as Scissors as a whole.
Yeah, absolutely. But while I focus on Scissors, I mean, look at that tank battle right there. Infected Zeb. Infected had a third of the deaths as Zeb. And I mean, yeah, we're in a little bit of a DPS meta at the moment where DPS are really, really strong, but your tank dying 12 times is not going to be a sign of a team that's going to be winning. Yeah, it was close there towards the end of that map, but I mean, like I said, it was a little mistake from students of the game that even allowed Citrus Nation to complete that map. If that mistake doesn't happen, Citrus Nation doesn't get that second point, and we're talking about right now how the students of the game team is just looking stronger than what we kind of thought they were.
Yeah, they're looking really good. I mean, again, it's just kind of a must win for Citrus Nation, because they are 6-3 right now. Top 16 currently, 7-2. So I mean, getting that win would be huge. Getting to that seventh win is really massive at the moment, because there's a huge drop off after the number 5, because the 6th seed right now to the 21st seed are all 7-2 decks. So I mean, getting that 7th win would be massive for Citrus Nation. But the same can be said for students of the game as well, getting that 8th win.
Yeah, that 8th win would be huge for students of the game, but you brought it up there, Citrus Nation, that 7th win, it puts them in a really, really good spot. And also getting a win against students of the game, a team that got points in stage 1, and bringing them to even terms, even leveled in that standings, would be something huge here for Citrus Nation. And it would be something that bumps them back up into something that, you know, maybe you see them playing in like the Swiss stage next week. But right now, really no shock from this compositions right now. Tap on the Widowmaker. I mean, it's kind of a normal pick here on the first point, but you see Cal coming back out on that Illari, and I don't blame them. I mean, if I'm them, I'm basically saying Citrus Nation needs to give me a reason to get off of the Illari. Yeah,
we'll see. I mean, it worked well. Captain Sun, I mean, yeah, it was there. Like you said, it was a nice, a good deterrent for Citrus Nation in those fights. But still, Citrus Nation gonna be able to push currently almost fully through past Big Earls at the moment, but they are just gonna be able to contest it. Lethal is gonna take down Rack Attack though with a nice secondary shot with that rail shot, taking them down, and that might just be the beginning of the end of the defense of students of the game here.
Yeah, and again, it's been a theme so far this entire series. The Soldierns have been just able to find first picks. The other team's such an advantage, and now because of how far they're able to push it, if students of the game want to have another contest here, it's going to be they're just throwing bodies just to make sure they eat a couple more seconds off. And it doesn't look like they're going to do that. They're going to try to get set up for a second point, which is probably the right thing to do here. But I mean, I'm looking at ultimates right now. Neutral will probably be able to build up to their ultimate. Same thing with Jacob and Lethal. I mean, this is a much better start for Citrus Nation, considering how they started on Midtown, where they seem to just be lagging behind students of the game almost every way you looked at it.
Yeah, now let's see how they can figure this out. The Citrus Nation have got a decent time going forward, and I mean, they're already trying to push it to students of the game here, rotating around and still trying to hold it out, but nothing really quite doing just yet. But battling it out now between Infected and Zeb, and Zeb is going to be forced away for the moment. A nice javelin throw connecting onto both of them. There's the Baptiste coming in with their Amp Matrix as well, as Lethal's not going to be able to find anything in the sound coming in. There's the Kitsune Rush coming in. Captive Sun as well, and Alt Fiesta, and Infected is going to be able to come out on top with it. Now, I mean, the trades just keep coming through, but it looks like students of the game have the upper hand, it would seem, at the moment, especially thanks to Cal finding 2 in that fight.
And Zab going to be able to back out here safely somehow after 7 ultimates were used across the 2 teams. Right there, students of the game, though, investing 4, really the thing that won them that fight. Scissors, though, already halfway up to another pulse bomb, so they'll be able to get that here pretty quickly. But Zab having this Terror Surge might be something that helps them out early in the fight if they can catch out someone who's being a little bit too over-aggressive like Scissors here.
Yeah, getting a little bit over aggressive, but right now, Zeb needs to stay alive, because that might just ruin your push here. As Jacob goes down, Cal with the shot coming through, and there goes Zeb quickly afterwards. Cal coming alive with another play coming in. 2 picks again for the Ari.
Yeah, and I mean, look at students of the game. I mean, they're about to have 3 of their ultimates ready to go again. Rack close to another Amp Matrix here. And Citrus Nation, I mean, they had 2 ultimates going into that fight. They're still about as far away from having a 3rd as they were going into that last fight. And they got rolled over here. As you just need something here from Citrus Nation, but who's it going to be? It's definitely not going to be Jacob.
It's going to be Cal again. He keeps just finding pick after pick for students of the game. Now, Infected is going to be able to take down Zeb, but they're just going to be able to force Citrus Nation back yet again.
And 1 ultimate used there for students of the game wins them that fight. I mean, it's perfect for them. They're about to have 4 ultimates. Citrus Nation, I mean, yeah, they're finally going to build up to a 3rd ultimate this fight, but Lethal and Jacob, 2 players who are key to getting them that first point, have just now kind of gone quiet, have kind of gone cold. They need something from these DPS right now for Citrus Nation just to help them get along here.
Thankfully, they'll have this Kitsune Rush, and they can definitely combo with the Dragon Blade that Tap has available now. But we'll see if that is going to be in the cards. Kitsune Rush is going to come in from neutral. Tap still not using it as they're going to go down. Cal finds the shot yet again. The opening pick time and time again keeps coming from Cal, no less. Lethal going to be popping their overclock, and Rack Attack is going to be paid for it. But Lethal almost goes down. The shot almost came through from Cal as well. Captain Sun get a blow up in their face, not on it to an enemy team, but again, not even matter. Dragon Blade gonna come in, PGE is gonna go down, Terror Surge Infected taken out. So still, Citrus Nation are gonna be able to push forward.
Yeah, they're gonna be able to push forward here, but you see students of the game right there. Scissors find Jacob with another huge pick, but they lose Cal for it.
Yeah, they find out Jacob, which is massive, but a minute and 20 to go, and well, they're definitely going to get a touch here, Dex, so this is going to be nice for them. The respawns aren't fully back from Citrus Nation either, but Infected is so low, you need to get there. You need the health. They just Terror Surged him right into the mortality field, but the Infected goes away from it. Zeb now finding another pick. Javelin spinning away, taking them down. Pulse Bomb is out. They're going to be able to Suzu away, and Citrus Nation have another lease on life.
I don't know if Infected decide on their own free will to go away from that immortality field, or if Jacob booped them back into that one there, but a great play there from Citrus Nation. They desperately need that. They're 2 minutes on the clock now. Lethal going over to the Hanzo is a very interesting pick here, but I mean, so far this entire round, the only time Citrus Nation have really won fights is when they've been able to shut down Cal, and I mean, they have made the Solari pick work to them to perfection almost, but now Citrus Nation, they're gonna have this Kitsune Rush here early. They're gonna have to deal with PGE and that Rack Attack Amp Matrix combo though.
Yeah, Leaf made the swap over to the Hanzo here now, which is an interesting decision for them. We'll see how it works going forward. But right now, the hold is going to start out. PG has this overclock available, but still not going to be using it quite just yet. Rat finally having that amp matrix available as well, but still, these teams are just kind of holding out, waiting for that opening pick to really know if it's worth investing. And there it is. Jacob able to find Rack attack out is massive, and now Citrus Nation are going to be pushing in forward and off the back with their Kitsune rush and finding every pick necessary, and they might just be able to find the capture of point number 3 here, Dexatron.
And they might be able to here, and it seems like Citrus Nation always finds the right person first, and because of that, they're going to be able to complete the map there with time. And like I said, in that second to last fight, Rack and PGE were coming up to that great combo potential with that amp matrix and the overclock, but it seems like time after time both these teams know who they have to go after first. They get rid of Rack. You didn't see PGE invest that overclock right there just to try to save them that fight, because I mean, I've talked about students of the game, when they see Citrus Nation use ultimates, they know not to necessarily invest unless they know it's a winning opportunity. And down Rack attack there on that on the BAP really made them know that that wasn't necessarily a fight they wanted to take, but they needed to a little bit there. They needed to put up a little bit more of a contest. Citrus Nation, though, after a slow and sluggish start to that second point, once they got the ball rolling, it never stopped. Students of the game was only temporarily able to slow it down here. Yeah. And look at what Citrus Nation is doing here. Lethal staying on the Hanzo, Tap staying on the Genji. I'm starting to question if the Genji is necessarily the right pick. Tap did make it work there, but I still think having a Tracer would be the better kind of option here, especially when we look over at what Scissors has been able to do on the Tracer. PGE, though, back on the Soldier. Has done a great job on the Soldier in here. I'm not going to talk about Rack. Cal, though, on the Baptiste. I think this is a good pick for them here, especially with this Orisa. They've been playing the Baptiste a lot. You're going to probably see Rack swap over to the Lucio here instead, because you need the Lucio if you're going to be running that Orisa.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think we need to see maybe a swap off from Tap. They really haven't been able to find kills. I don't know about the damage, but oh, and PG going to be able to find Jacob, but yeah, you need to be able to just find the damage, at least if you're playing a flanking character like Tap is. But they're going to be able to go. They're going to go down here, and now Lethal and the rest of Citrus Nation as well. Students game take a nice, quick first fight.
And Jacob falling there first is not what you want to see from Citrus Nation. And hey, look at what they're doing. They're making the swaps that we talked about. Lethal going back over to the Soldier, and who they looked great on all night, and Tap going back over to this Tracer. It's what they needed to do here. They needed to try to mirror this as close as they could. And I don't think they were going to bring out the BAP, but I mean, I do like the Ilaria a little bit more than the BAP in this situation.
Yeah, and I have to agree with you there. Right now, the rotation out on the point, and Citrus Nation trying to hold it out, but still, again, it's just a waiting game to see who gets that first pick, and then do we invest to go in onto that? And right now, no one's really going low quite just yet. It really just needs a shot coming in from PGE, and Scissors is going to use their pulse bomb, but they're not going to find anyone. Jacob is very low. That could be it would be a great opening pick if you're students of the game, but slowly and steadily they're very close, and they just need to win one fight. But now they've lost Scissors. PGE is going to turn it back, so there's still a chance for students of the game to hold out onto this. But the Kitsune rush coming in from neutral, sound barrier there as well from Rack, though, to try to keep things going in the favor of students of the game. But they need to find a pick off the back of it, and nothing's really turning their way quite just yet. Terror Surge available from Infected, and Lethal goes down. That's huge, but again, the trade just keeps turning back. They're able to hold on for the moment still. They're not really able to keep things going their way with the Terror Surge coming in. Sound barrier from Jacob going to allow them to hold on for a little bit longer, and it's just Infected left on the point.
And this is exactly what Citrus Nation wanted. They put that close hold there. They lost almost immediately, but then they were able to make swaps, come back out, build up ultimates in that fight, use them, and find all the value they needed. Yeah, they didn't find kills immediately, but it forced students of the game to use some of their utility. PGE and Lethal going to have overclocks ready to go here. Scissors close to another pulse bomb. I would not be surprised if Scissors is able to build it up pretty quickly here and get it onto someone like Jacob, who really has no way to stop it anymore.
Yeah, as the overclock coming in from Lethal there, just buying more and more time, and so low is everyone on students of the game right now. The follow-up could be huge from Tap, and it is. Rack Attack is now down. This is not looking good if you're students of the game here, as Tap finds another pick. Cal gonna go down. Tap made the swap over to the Tracer. Pulse Bomb does come through. Lethal is out, so there's still a chance Scissors could go crazy, but the Kitsune Rush invested here to hold on to the point. Pulse Bomb gonna get stuck onto Infected to take them out of the fight as well. 45 seconds remaining between Citrus Nation taking this map and the series.
And students of the game, I mean, they kept on just kind of staggering themselves back into the fight there. Yeah, you saw Scissors get a couple picks there. You saw the Consumers come out from Citrus Nation, and maybe you thought, okay, you could go in, but you just needed to regroup there a little bit. You saw them using ultimates. You've been so good with that in the past, but now you're coming on to 3 of your own here. This is final fight territory, and if you're Cal, you can't be the first one to die like that.
No shot. This is not looking good. Scissors, however, has turned it back. They've gotten Lethal out. Now PGE with the overclock could be the saving grace for students of the game, but they need to find a shot, and no, they don't. Zebgo takes them down, but Infected with a Terror Surge finds another one. Still, it's anyone's point, but they need more picks off the back, and Scissors needs to stay alive, and they do. The 11th hour, it looks like, and the students of the game are going to be able to hold on.
And Cal making that swap over there to the mortar late. Well, it doesn't look like they helped out. They did throw that healing orb in there just to give Infected a little bit more health there to get them through that fight. Do they stick on it or go back over to the BAP now that they've fallen? Actually, they're going back over to the Kiri, which is probably the right move here. And now, if you're students of the game, you're in a really good spot. You have that ball, you have that pulse bomb. You're about to have a beat. Same thing though for Citrus Nation, but you cannot have the same start to point to that Citrus Nation had. You cannot be stonewalled fight after fight because the time bank is not on your side.
As now, we'll see here. Rack has the sound barrier available. So does Jacob as well. Who invested first? Are they going to invest it preemptively to get that extra bit of shall we say, aggressiveness to really take this fight? But Zeb is so low right now. They're not even going to get that healing, though. The Pulse Bomb is going to get stuck in Jacob's down. It's a perfect opportunity now for students of the game to go in, take this fight. You don't even have to invest anything more, especially if you can take Zeb out of the fight. Tap so low, and Rack comes in with a back smack, taking them down. And that should be that. Rack with another one. The smacks coming crazy for students of the game.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Your students of the game, you invested some ultimates right there. You invested the Pulse Bomb and that Overclock. Look at Citrus Nation. They're going to have 3, both their supports and that Overclock ready to go here. So you're going to need to find an early pick here. And you see Infected right there, trying to play a little bit of offensive lineman, try to keep that Orisa away from the cart. But you're seeing Citrus Nation immediately recognize that and playing those off angles.
Yeah, Lethal's rotating around. They've got the overclock available. They can use that from the back if they really want to. But the overclock coming in from Lethal is there, but the shots aren't really finding the damage you were hoping for. Kitsune rushes dueling on the point. Sound mirrors come out from Jacob and Rack Attack as well to try to hold on to this point. Still, no one's found a pick, and Infected has the Terror Surge available. So does Zeb now. Who finds better value? Who can hold it out? Neutral almost goes down. Tap is down, out of the fight. Jacob very close to going with him, but still alive and well for the moment. But a lot of people are low from Citrus Nation, and while that is going to be that, students of the game are able to hold on yet again and capture point number 2.
And right now, I mean, 1:30 on the time back right now for students of the game. That was a huge fight for them there, especially since they're able to live the onslaught of the ultimates that Citrus Nation had going into that one. Their both supports and that overclock. Now you've built up to 3 ultimates of your own, and Rack close to another beat here pretty quickly, but Zeb is diving in.
Yeah, Zeb's diving in and taking Rack out of the fight. So, I mean, hey, it's going to be a nice little opening for them, especially with the Pulse Bomb coming in. Infected's now all alone and taken down. Tap's going to be able to get them as well. So now they're just buying time. This is a huge fight win for Citrus Nation, sorry. But down to 50 seconds already here.
And this was something that students of the game did not expect. They did not expect this level of aggressiveness from Citrus Nation, and they have just not been able to punish it yet.
This is not good at all. 35 seconds to go. And even if they do win this fight, they're going to have to stay on cart because, well, you're going to lose. You're not going to be able to get there you're not going to be able to get there with time on the clock. 30 seconds to go. Scissors finds lethal. That's huge, but you need to find more. And that's what, and you need PGE to come in with this overclock. They find neutral out. You might not need it now, but that's it's definitely good for the long run. You need to be able to find something with this overclock that's going to be available here.
You just needed one pick to break that up. Yeah, you're in overtime. It's do or die from here on out, but look at your ultimate economy. You have 4, but Citrus Nation, they're about to have 5. If you're Scissors, you need to build to a Pulse Bomb here pretty quickly because Citrus Nation, I mean, they're in a pretty good spot right now. Beats ready for both sides. Kitsune Rush is ready for both sides. Who's going to be the first one to throw out something? Who's going to be the first one to shoot here? That's what it really all comes down to here. And if my money is on Citrus Nation, they've been the one that has been playing aggressive so far all night.
Yeah, overclock coming in from Lethal first and foremost. Rack able to get that sound barrier, even though the javelin throw was right there. Able to stay alive, and Lethal goes down. Rack attack might have helped them at least get to overtime rounds here. Now with the Pulse Bomb out, Tap not going to be able to find the damage. A lot of people are low on Citrus Nation. Infected is low, but Zeb goes down, and that might be enough. But Tap has come back. They found 2 picks. They need to get the touch. The respawns are coming back. Still, and Citrus Nation have the opportunity to hold on to this, but they need to find the picks. Swap over to the Divas, huge. Tap finds another pick on the cow. Tap finds another one. Oh my goodness, Tap just wins the map for Citrus Nation.
We talked about it all series long. The Tracers have been so important. They are such an important character right now, and Tap just absolutely coming alive, being able just to find those picks there towards the end to give this Citrus Nation squad the win they desperately needed to keep their hopes really alive here, Joker.
Yeah, no. What a series. Oh my goodness, Tap. Tap, oh my goodness. That was just great. That was just great all around. That was a fantastic final map.
I mean, Joker, just look at how close this series was. We went to a 0.3 on Nepal. We went to an overtime on Midtown. We almost went to an overtime on Route 66 here. This was an incredibly close series from both these two teams, but we talked about there a little bit. The team that needed it more at the end, they had someone step up and start showing out to make sure they're able to keep pace with a team like Student of the Game, who now these teams both have the same record, and it becomes ever so more important here.
And it looks, I mean, it looks like right now, Citrus Nation has gone into the top 16 because of this win. Students of the Game has dropped out of it. They're down to top 18 now, so they need a win in their next round, or they're gonna have to say GGO next. They're not gonna have a chance for Dallas.
Yeah, and I mean, especially a team that finished fifth in that sixth place in stage 1. A lot of people had high hopes for them coming into stage 2 here, and I mean, they still have a chance to, make some noise here. They have one more game left, but at this point, it essentially becomes they probably need to sweep that one to give themselves the best chance. But this Citrus Nation team, I mean, they have definitely ran into some tough opponents. This probably being one of the toughest that they've had played so far, but they came out on top here. A resilient team, and honestly, throughout the night, I mean, they didn't necessarily make a lot of swaps. Yeah, we did see Tap go over to the Genji for a little bit, and while they had mixed success, back on the Tracers where they needed to be. And if they stayed on the Genji all the way up until this point right here, I don't think we have the same outcome. I think we're still playing Route 66. I think we're in an overtime there. Tap going back over to the Tracer there might be the difference for them here. It's just incredible from both these two teams. You see how evenly matched they are.
Yeah, they are indeed. Now we can only watch to see how this really ends up, because we aren't casting the match for round number 11, I believe that would be. So we're going to go away. If I'm not mistaken, it's Hot Dog and Blank. Blank. Okay, so we're going to head to a break while we figure out the next match, and then we'll see Hot Dog and Blank right after this.